After last season, and forcing myself to watch so many shows which I knew I wouldn't be interested in, I said to myself, Fuds, you can skip any of the Fujoshi shows, which you know you're going to give a bad review to, because it'd be unfair to review them. Let people decide whether or not they want to watch them, because you'll never give them a positive review. And that's fair enough. 2 shows I actually fell foul about so far this season. Both would have been reviewed this episode, but I will be skipping them. Those are Actors Song Connection and Stand My Heroes Piece of Truth, both airing over at Funimation. If you want to watch them, head on over. They air on Sunday and Monday respectively, but I'll be skipping them. I will, however, be looking at 4 new shows today. Because, as ever, this is a 2019 autumn anime preview, from a different perspective. I talk a lot on these shows about trends in anime, about the high number of a certain type of series airing. I mean, just on Sunday and Monday alone, the high number of Fujoshi-based shows is very much telling. But over the last few seasons, we've started seeing another trend starting to jump forward. The Japanese anime industry is hugely obsessed recently with cop dramas. I mean, in the last few seasons we have Copcraft, we had Midnight Occult Civil Servants, we have Double Decker Dug and Kill, and now we've got Special 7, Special Crimes Investigations Unit. Not to mention a while back we had that bloody CSI Vatican show, whatever it was called. Let's say this time it is a turn of Special 7, an anime about a special squad of police officers going about day-to-day investigations. And as is quite often the case, we get thrown in with a rookie. Literally, his nickname is Rookie. It went into the world of Seiji, a rookie cop who finds himself off duty in a bank robbery with another off-duty cop. Although I imagine that cop was actually meant to be there because, yeah, things go how things happen. Now, at the start of the show, they tell us that the world is mixed with mythological creatures. You've got elves, you've got dwarves, you've got vampires, and suddenly we're back into the realms of Copcraft again. But in the first episode, the actual races don't really play out. I mean, they're just there. They don't really do anything. There's no real special requirement of a certain race to have certain powers. I imagine that's something we'll expand on later on in the series, but I don't really go into it in the first episode. The first episode just plays out as you'd expect. It's about with a specialist team of police officers trying to catch some bank robbers who have stolen a rare diamond. I mean, there's some undertones. The main character has a history with some terrorist activity. The bank robber's also linked to his terrorist activity. There's an underlying plot there. All in all, it's just a crack team of weirdos fighting crime. Now, I've pretty much told you everything there is to tell you about this anime. None of the characters really stood out other than their designs. I mean, the samurai girl is hot. The hacker girl is adorable. The sniper is old and gruff. And the driver is clearly a vampire. But there's not really much we know about any of them yet. I'm not sure if I can really recommend watching this one either. I mean, it's not a bad show, but it's not really watchable. If you want to watch a cop drama, go and watch Copcraft from last season. It's a much better show, and even that one's not brilliant. But if you did want to watch this one, like Copcraft, this one's also airing over at Funimation. You know, Japan really loves their office workers. Whenever they get to show adults in work, 9 times out of 10, it's a salaryman. Or salarywoman, but that's more about the gender politics of the workplace in Japan. I'm not going to get into that here. But welcome to The Africa Salaryman, an anime about a lion who is a salaryman. I'll let that sink in a moment. It's a lion who is a salaryman. Animals in the workplace, anthropomorphised animals in the workplace. Now, if your mind immediately went to Agretsuko, then you're not the only one. Anybody who sees this show will immediately draw parallels between the adorable but aggressive red panda from Samyo and the cowardly lion who looks scary and just wants to go about his day-to-day business. I mean, this episode even has a nod to that series. I'll say nod. I mean, we're going on a date with a red panda and a fennec, who are the main 2 characters in Agretsuko. And Agretsuko is a much better show, because Agretsuko has humour, it has characters you want to know about. This one just has a lion who is scary, but doesn't want to be. It has a straight guy who is a lizard, and it has the most annoying toucan you've ever seen in your life. I mean, he has every single bad obvious cliche going about him. He drives a fast car, fast and dangerous. I mean, he's completely perverted, has no real scruples about him whatsoever, but refuses to pay any attention to anybody who's not attractive. He's there to catch you every single waking moment of embarrassment. And all in all, he's just there to cause trouble. I mean, the show would be a million times better without a toucan, but a million times better would still not be worth watching. Because it's his poor CG animation. I mean, some of the cut-offs are basically just, I don't know how to do CG animation. I'll follow this YouTube tutorial, and I'll get these characters, which I've just taken off the internet, walking around in circles. I mean, don't get me wrong, I couldn't do that myself either, I'm not an artist. But I fear the people who animated this one aren't really artists either. Some shows with bad animation can be charming. I mean, just look at the first season of Kimono Friends. You see that and think that is purely animated. I mean, a lot of people abandon the first episode even before watching it because they just saw some kiddie show with bad CG animation. And yet, that's sort of steamrolled into something bigger, something more popular. This one won't do that, because Kimono Friends had an innocent charm about it. And Gretsuko had the sort of almost realistic office space shenanigans, and everybody can associate with Retsuko. Africa Salomon, whilst avoiding the potentially racist connotations which a lot of people do fear, I'm not really going to go into that one because it doesn't really go into it, but with an anime title like that, I imagine people's minds immediately go in that direction. Thankfully they don't go there in the anime. It really has no redeeming features whatsoever. Seriously, don't watch this one. This is by and far the worst show of the season. So if anything gets worse than this, oh my god. This one's also on Funimation. When I talk about trends in anime, I often talk about shows which just repeat themselves. When you've got a recent trend of Isekai shows, I mean we've got about 6 so far this season already. You got mobile phone game adaptation, and recently there's been a growing trend for cop show. Right, I've done this intro before? No I haven't, because this is intro for Babylon. Fate Grand Order, this is not. Welcome to the world of Babylon, a police show. Yeah, I talk about trends, there's 2 in the same episode here. This one, however, is not about mythical beings like elves and dwarves. This is about cops going about cop things, investigating drug offences. I'm not on about doing drugs, I'm on about pharmaceutical companies being fraudulent and doctoring their figures. Because this is police paperwork, the animation. They fill in paperwork, they do maths and fill in spreadsheets. They have boxes of paperwork. Huge warehouses full of boxes of paperwork. And sometimes they even have mysterious paperwork. If you ever wanted to know what paperwork looked like, then this is your anime. No, I'm being unfair, that's just the start of it. They do get onto more interesting manners later on. There's some sort of political intrigue behind this pharmaceutical company and links to a political party while a mayoral election is going on. And if I wanted to watch a political drama, I'll just watch a Parliament channel, because that one is more sensational, more dramatical than any anime can ever be about political drama. And if I want to watch police shows and if I want to watch fraud investigations, and again, I'd watch a political channel. One thing I wouldn't watch is Babylon, because this anime, whilst it does start getting into a plot, it doesn't really go anywhere. There's no real meat on the bones yet. There's darkness there, there's intrigue, but there's no substance. I mean, I couldn't even tell you the main character's name unless I looked down and saw it on the page in front of me. And doing so, I can tell you the name of the character is Zen Seizaki. I mean, how could I forget a name like Zen? I mean, it's a cool name. But he wears it like a brooch, hidden underneath your coat. I mean, you don't know it's there. The coat's boring, as you don't really pay any attention to it. And I won't be paying any attention to this one either. It's a boring anime, and I don't think anyone will be watching it anyway, because they're over on Amazon. When I talk about anime, I often talk about the trends in anime, and one of the biggest trends of recent times has been the growth of cop dramas in anime. I mean, there's been just 2 in this episode already. But good news, this is not an anime about cop shows. Welcome to a world of didn't I say to make my abilities average in my next life. Welcome to a world of the Isekai Show. I know you've probably never heard of one before, but an Isekai Show is a show where a character from our world is reincarnated or transported into another world. I know it's a strange concept, but bear with me a moment. Our main character used to be known as Misato. She was relatively straight-laced, prim and proper, top of class, book-smart girl. She had no friends, but she was very attractive. Until one day, she saw a little girl crossing a road as everybody's favourite truck-kun drives down the road at high speed. And stop me if you know this one already, but bam. And suddenly, she's face to face with Enkidu from Fate Grand Order, who says that he can reincarnate her into another world. And she said, yeah, that's fine. Reincarnate me. I just have one request. Please make my abilities average in the next world. Please make my abilities average in the next life. I had no friends that are super smart know-it-all in the last life. I want to be average. He says, yeah, I can do that. And whoosh, she goes off to the other world, and she's reborn as Adele von Asham, going by the alias of Melee. A normal girl. Just wanted to become a hunter. I imagine it's sort of like Hunter's Guild and quests, like you get in any kind of fantasy world. The problem is that the god took the knowledge of average, and he didn't take the true mean average. He just took the midpoint. And if little insects are down here, humans are here, the super powerful Dragon Lord is up here. So she's somewhere about there-ish. Above every single human, super powerful, and yet she wanted to be average. Yeah, she's not average. Now, the entire first episode plays off with her just showing just how powerful her abilities are, and she meets the three other main characters. She meets the absolutely tsundere mage, Reina. She meets the big-breasted, but kind-hearted healer, Pauline. And the oh-so gallant, but unfortunately named Mavis. Mavis? Really? What is she, grandma? But I suppose I wanted a very elegant-sounding name. Well, we didn't get one, sorry. And they go out and try and save the little girl who runs the local inn. Yeah, because the little girl runs the local inn. From some bandits. I mean, she's not there, that's another part of the story. It reveals just how super powerful Melee is. She's overpowered. She's not average in the slightest. Now, maybe it's a high number of Fujoshi and cop shows in the last couple of days talking. I quite enjoyed this one. I mean, it's no works of Shakespeare, but it's not going to bore you mindless either. There's fun here. It's a light, fluffy show with a light, fluffy-haired main character. It's not going to change the world, it's not going to change the genre, but it's not going to have me changing the channel either. If you did want to watch average abilities, you can find it airing over at Crunchyroll. You know, there's a running theme in anime this season. A lot of it's airing over at Funimation. But today, I don't think they got the best of other shows. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments, and join me to look at 4 more new shows airing over the next few days. Thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.